Hey guys, welcome to this brand new mixing tutorial. Let's take a look at this cover of Covenant by ALLT. This band is immense and I really recommend you all check it out. They are brand new and this is one of the more exciting sounds I found out in 2020. Just a perfect blend of a lot of things metal that I love. And I'm very happy with this cover. It has very special things. Let's get into it. Turn off the master bus and explain it at the end. The drum sound is a favorite. It's my P4 sound. So if you've been around, you know this sound. You can check it out fully in my P4 demo video. That's actually on YouTube where I mix this kit. So just go to YouTube and look for my GGD P4 demo and review video. And there's the mixing for this exact sound. So we can move on to bass, because I know a lot of you have seen that sound. One of the first things that struck me about this band was the production. It was the reason that I got initially hooked into it. And it's Buster Oreholm from Sweden. I own one of his tools, Impact Studio's Nuclear Bass. I thought it was the way to go, because even though Buster tracked real bass on this album, this is the closest I'm going to get to it. Also, F sharp can bother tuning that low. So the distortion came from good old Joel Wanasek Bus Glue Bass, very easy plugin. It's going to give you clean low end and distorted top end. And you can balance the levels. I always compress the low end quite a bit. And the top end too. Then it's all about EQing it. I give it some more thickness with R bass after, and around 46 Hertz, which is close to the low F sharp, so that it has that super low fundamental boom. Very big difference. If you care to listen carefully to the low end. Cornef channel strip, amplified instrument processor, what is happening? So filtering the high end is the main thing, down to 6K, getting rid of a lot of fizz and getting rid of a few mids too. Honky mids at 500 are gone, and very programmed mids at 2K are out. So it just sounds like a little bit more real. And dark, of course. Here's more adjustments. Similar mid cuts, a little bit lower in the spectrum, and a boost of 4K to give it some presence against the drums. It passes the bass against drums test, which is you can hear the presence and you can also feel the low end. Good. Guitars. So guitars are very special because I've been chatting a lot with George Lever, a very good friend, I consider him. He's the producer for bands like Sleep Token and Loathe. And he's wanted some DIs to reamp for a video that he's doing. So I gave him the DIs for this cover, and then he gave them back to me if I'd like to use them. And I did, which is an amazing thing. So I originally recorded them through, let me go get those hidden tracks, through one of my favorite JCM profiles. So the Dan Cornef Tone Hub JCM, one of my favorite profiles of all time. But George has a real JCM. You can hear there's this realness to the mid-range. It's like it's way more faithful to my guitar. I think I just found out what it is. This guitar is very, very mid-rangey. And this, the real amp respects that. It has this very, very strong barky presence. So that's my main tone, and it's what I knew I would love, the JCM. But then he also reamped the full track on two other amps. A Fortin prototype, which has the weirdest mid-range ever, and I used it for the drop tune part. It just sounds like a barking dog. And the VH4. Which has a more distorted high mid-range that I really like and appreciate. All going through the same IR. But that's the three different amp flavors, real amp flavors that I have in this cover today, which was an awesome experience. Yeah, in case you like to know what they are, it's a JCM, a Fortin prototype for the drop part, and a VH4 for the end chords. Not the end part, the end chord part. Such a very cool situation. Minimal processing, as you can see. Literally getting rid of a little bit of sub beneath 40, cutting a little bit of low mid and mid range, and boosting a little bit of top end. I don't even know if that's making it better or worse. I do think it fits the mix a little bit better, but could have not had it. And then like soothe, almost superstitial soothe. Also affecting the low mids, which I think is a cool way to get it to just sound like a super, super balanced and static tone. Yeah, that's the story for today. A lot of the magic is in the leads and programming in this cover, so let's get to them. So this very constant guy is the actual JCM from the Tone Hub pack. Into an EQ to make it softer, into my usual little plate, 100% wetness. It's going to give you the ambient feel that you need. Always needs a little bit of controlling. So that's cutting a lot of low end and a little harshness at 2K and removing some mid-range from the center of the speaker channel so that the sound can be a bit wider. So it's using this as a stereo widening trick. Cool. All the cleans in this cover are using the... Oh, not all. Okay, so this clean is using the Wolf Putney VH4 clean on Tone Hub, which is cool. Right, with a little compression before, because it's a very dynamic part at the beginning. Plate at 75, make it ambient as fuck, and delay. So a ping pong and quarter notes also get rid of low end so that it hits harder when the rhythms come in. Yeah. Probably the same. No, then all cleans, which is what I thought they all were, are the Mercurial SS11X on stock. Just getting rid of a little bass and mids. And this one is the little delay hit on the intro riff. So Seventh Heaven is the reverb of choice with the church preset. I like it, made it a little bit less long and got some low end. And the big thing on this one is the dotted delay, of course, so that it does to do do to do do to do do. Very minor EQ. The rest should be fairly close to it. This one is probably with reverb up full. So same SS11X. Yeah. And the reverb goes from 3 to 12 seconds, and the mix goes -10 dry and 0 wet. So just way more wet. You also cut a lot more low end because more reverb means more information down there. And a limiter to make sure it's not too pokey. Not doing too much. That same sound takes care of this part. And this one is a repeat of it, just 2 octaves above, same plugins. Which is cool. I just pitched the DI up. And then, for the part where I play finger picked with 3 fingers, I recorded each note individually with a pick because I cut my classical guitar nails and I wasn't getting the attack I wanted. So I recorded them with a pick. So if that fooled you, good job on me. It's the same reverb, a little bit less wet. Quarter note delay, not on ping pong, so that it hits close to the stereo. A little bit of EQ, and the main processing here is the MV2. So I want to bring up the low level stuff. The peaks of the picking are very strong, and I want to bring up the sustain. So MV2 makes you do that with the low level slider instead of having to turn down a high level slider and boosting the output. It's just limiting in a different workflow. Got some rain going. Just get rid of some rumble. There's a few ambient samples now. This one is very cool. Just remove some low end out of it. Love this chime. Remove the ring out of it and remove a lot of brightness. Very, very cool. Piano time. My favorite addictive keys. Into Seventh Heaven. This is a very, very professional sounding reverb. Labs double bass. No processing at all. My usual choir, female A choir straight out of Expand. It usually just has a little bit of EQ and reverb. One thing I'm very proud of in this cover is that I recorded my own shaker. I recorded it in the drum, in the center of the drum with the overheads, so that I get a little bit of room and a little bit of stereo spread. I fucked it up because I played it too much to the right. I balanced it all with Pro Q. So I changed the shape of it a bit because it's a little bit too bright, make it a bit more mid-rangey. It already has ambience from the room, so no reverb. Cutting subs that I see but I can't hear should be okay. And I use this to balance out the left and right input. Very proud of having recorded my own shaker. Explosion as usual, boom. That one's fucked because it's slowed down. There you go. A little bit less high end on it today. George Lever's big snare. Again, a huge shout out to George Lever. This is one of his samples. And a reverse snare that I made out of a sample from the original P4 snare with tons of reverb. And then I reversed it and played it back. Into a rouser for compression and distortion. Make it nice and busy. That's it. Removing a little bit of harshness out of it. Overall, I'm super happy with how this cover turned out, and please check out this band because it's very good. It's one of the best feelings I've ever had to know that a video I'm doing can help a new and upcoming band. They never got in touch with me for anything. I just listened to their song, loved it, covered it, and I usually cover more popular bands, so it's good to know that my video can make an impact if you go check them out. Thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.